All right, so here is my next homework question, or my next homework page. This one you have to do online. So I don't know, Julian, did you print it out? Or you're just going to look and watch?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a pattern, right? I did this as a pattern. I could go back up here and do this one, but I'm going to just start right here, and then maybe you'll see the pattern here. So 9 times something is 18. Right? 9 times 2 is 18. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my 7/9 and I'm going to change it, change it, change it, change it, change it, change it into equivalent fractions, right? It's really the same number, right? If I wanted to start at the end, I could see 7 times something is 49, and I know 7 times 7 is 49. So whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. If I multiply the top times 7, I have to multiply the bottom times 7. And 9 times 7 is 63. Right? I could do any of these in any order. I did choose to do them in order when I did these last ones up here. But like this one, there's a 35. I know 7 times 5 is 35. So whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. I have to multiply times 5, and 9 times 5 is 45. I'll go back over here and do the very first one where I started. So 9 times 2 is 18. Multiply the bottom times 2. I got to multiply the tops times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. So now I see here, I got a 9. I had a 9. I turned it into a 27. So I know 9 times 3 is 27. So I have to multiply the top also times 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. And now I know my top, my 7 turned into a 28. So 7 times 4 is 28. So if I do it to the top, I have to do it to the bottom also. 9 times 4 is 36. I have one last one to do over here. So 9 times something is 54. I know it's my math fact. 9 times 6 is 54. So if I did it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. And 7 times 6 is 42. Right? And this is a pattern, actually, if you look. I'm counting on the top by 7s and the bottom by 9s. Right? I started 7 9s. Then I doubled it. 4 19s. Tripled it. 21 27s. Quadrupled it. 28 36. Quintupled it. 35 45ths. I don't know how to say this. I sextupled it. 42 over 54, and I is a 7, septupled it, I don't know. It's 49 over 63 times 7, right? 7 times 7 and 9 times 7. I'm counting by 7s now. Or I got to my 7th multiple. All right, so now I'm going to do 1/2, right? And it is a little pattern. I don't know if you've noticed. I did times 2. Here I do times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. Just here, right? Just in the sheet. It's a pattern. So, right, 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 2 is 2. Right, I could double check here. Did I multiply the 1 times 3 and I got 3?
Wait, teacher, do we have to do the whole thing?
Yep. This one's your homework, yeah. So now I do my top, I did times 1 times 3 is 3, and the bottom 2 times 3 is 6. So my top 1 times 4 is going to be 4, right? And I can double check. 2 times 4 is 8, yep. 1 times 5 is going to be 5, and I can double check. 2 times 5 is 10, yep. 1 times 6 is 6, and double checking the 2 times 6 is going to give me 12. And now I do 1 times 7 is 7, and 2 times 7 is 14. So all I'm doing here, I'm just kind of doing a little pattern. Now I'm going to do the same thing in all of these. Times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6.
Can you go up a little?
Times 7.
because it's kind of hard to see, I think.
It's hard to see them. I know, and I scribble all over my pages, so. All right, so 3 times 2 is 6. 10 times 2 is 20. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 10 is 30. 3 times 4 is 12, and 10 times 4 is 40. 3 times 5 is 15, and 10 times 5 is 50. 3 times 6 is 18, and 10 times 6 is 60. And 3 times 7 is 21, and 7 times 10 is 70. All right, I'm going to keep going. So all of these are the same pattern. So I'm just writing the little pattern first so I remember. Right, I'm going to multiply times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, and times 7. But I have to multiply the bottom and the top. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. So 3 times 4 is 12. Right, they did one for me, the 10. And it is. The 2 times 5 was 10. So 3 times 5 is 15. And 2 times 6 is 12. And 3 times 6 is 18. And 2 times 7 is 14. And 3 times 7 is 21. All right, I got a few more. So I'm just finding times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. It's such great practice of your math facts, huh? So 6 times 2 is 12, and 1 times 2 is 2. 6 times 3 is 18, and 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 4 is 24, and 1 times 4 is 4. Here I did the 1 times 5 is 5, and 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 6 is 6, and 6 times 6 is 36. And 1 times 7 is 7, and 6 times 7 is 42. I know it looks tough. All right, so same thing here. I'm going to multiply times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, and times 7. And I'll just write my numbers here so I remember each time what I'm multiplying by. All right, so 2 times 7 is 14, and 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 7 is 21, and 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16, and 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 7 is 35, and 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 7, 42. Oh, look, it's the opposite. 24, 42. 7 times 4 is 28, and 7 times 7, 49. So you're getting such great math practice. All right, I'm going to do the same thing again. Times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. And 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 5 is 15, and 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 6 is 18, and 6 times 4 is 24. And 3 times 7 is 21. And 4 times 7 is 28. Right? And you can always check your answers here to make sure you got them all right. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Right? I'm counting by 3s and then I'm counting by 4s. 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. All right, one last problem. So 1/7, right? I'm multiplying times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. 1 times 2 is 2, and 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 3 is 3, and 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 4 is 4, and 7 times 4 is 28. 1 times 5 is 5, and 7 times 5 is 35. 1 times 6 is 6, and 7 times 6 is 42. And 1 times 7 is 7, and 7 times 7 is 49. Done. Don't forget to put your name and the date.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. See you tomorrow.
Have a good day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, you too. Bye.